There are basically three ways to implement a queue. We can store the items in an array, in a linked list, or a stack. So if you're preparing for a technical interview, you should know all these implementations. First, we're going to look at implementing a queue using an array. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to create a class called array queue. As the name implies, this queue is implemented using an array, similar to the array deck class in Java, double-ended queue, right? Now, in this class, I want you to implement all those standard queue operations. So we should have enqueue, we should have dequeue, as well as peek, is empty, and is full. Now, here's a hint before you get started. Let's imagine we have an array of 5 elements to store the items in this queue. So initially, our array is going to look like this. Now, as we add items to our queue, they should be stored at these positions. And as we remove them from our queue, they should be removed from the front. However, just like stacks, we're not going to physically remove this item from our array. We're not going to shift items around. Instead, we're going to use 2 pointers to determine where is the front and where is the rear or back of our queue. So here we can set front to 0, and this determines the front of our queue, and rear to 3. That determines the end of our queue. So these pointers are going to look like this, F and R. Now, as we add a new item, we move the rear pointer forward and store that item over here. Similarly, as we remove items from our queue, we move the front pointer forward, like this. So 10 is still in the memory, but we don't see it. So go ahead and spend 15 to 20 minutes on this exercise. You will see my solution next.